I have finally got around to seeing The Devil Wears Prada 2, so let's talk about it. That's all. Hey, welcome back to the brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about The Devil Wears Prada 2, the sequel that we've all been waiting for. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. Before we start talking about it, as always, a friendly reminder, these are just my thoughts. Don't let this dictate whether or not you go and see it. You might see it and feel totally differently to me. That is okay. Movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, let's start talking about this film. I think it's worth noting as well, I only recently just watched the first one. So the first one doesn't hold as much like nostalgia for me in terms of watching this sequel all these years later. I don't get that like nostalgia kick from it. So I'm kind of reviewing it as from an entertaining story purpose, like that kind of review. If you're looking though for like, oh, is this film going to like hit me with the nostalgia of the first one and remind me of like the era of the first Devil Wears Prada? It absolutely will, because that is all I've heard people talking about. So I can confidently say to you that it will 100% give you that nostalgia kick. But this film as a story, I would actually say for me, I enjoyed this more than the first one. The first one is by far always more iconic than the second one. The first Devil Wears Prada movie is just naturally more iconic. It is more of a staple than the second one. And yes, I would argue that the second one is pretty forgettable. Whenever you think of Devil Wears Prada, you will continue to always think of the first one. But I actually preferred the second one in terms of its humour style. I thought it was really funny. I actually thought because of this, it was kind of more 21st century humour in sort of like it felt like the comedy was aimed for a today audience. I really enjoyed it. I found it super funny and I was laughing audibly more in the second film than the first film, which I really love. It's an easy to follow film. There's a few really good plot twists, stuff that I didn't see coming, and I wouldn't have been able to predict what the second film is about after just watching the first film. Does that make sense? A lot of films, when you hear they've got a sequel, you can kind of figure out what the sequel is going to be about. I couldn't have predicted what the sequel is going to be about. Obviously, the outline of she's going to come back to, what is the name of the fashion magazine? Runway. Bloody hell, that was close. She's obviously going to come back to Runway. But how she does that and what the story then consists of, I couldn't have predicted. And I really did enjoy it. I thought the plot twists were pretty good. Didn't see them coming. Potentially other people couldn't, for me I couldn't. And do you know what? I just thought it was an all-round pretty good film. Did the film need to be as long as it was? No, it didn't. They could have cut 20 minutes worth of this film and it still would have just been as good. And it would have told the exact same story. So I don't feel like it had to be as long as it did, but I still really enjoyed it. And I thought it was a very solid sequel. I would say one of the best sequels to an iconic staple of a film in a very long time. Things like Jurassic World and all of these remakes, they're good. Not that I've like really watched Jurassic World, but they're good. But the trouble is, they're making them now for money. And a lot of people said the same thing about Devil Wears Prada when it first, was announced. Everyone was like, just another money cash grab. I actually disagree with this. And obviously, it's going to make a good chunk of money. But I do feel like this film was made with a good story in mind. And I really do think it adds something to the Devil Wears Prada sort of franchise, if you like. Very, very good. I thought she was very laid back in this film. She wasn't as harsh, and I think that was for a reason. And I do feel like times have changed a little bit, so maybe she wasn't actually allowed to be as harsh in this film. I don't know. But I actually quite enjoyed it. I feel like in this film we just saw more of a humane sort of journey in these characters, which I really, really liked. It was heartwarming, it was sweet, it was charming, it was humorous, and it was a really good watch. Especially if the first one holds such a good place in your heart. I obviously think by now, if you were thinking of seeing it, you would have gone and seen it by now. I'm so late to this movie review, but hey ho, I wanted to talk about it because I was trying to play catch up with the cinema. So I thought, well, I'm going to see it. I'm going to do a movie review on it. So yeah, that's what I thought of The Devil Wears Prada 2. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. As always, before I wrap up this movie review, what do I rate it out of 10? We're enjoying my DVD collection. I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. I very much enjoyed it. I gave the first one a 7 out of 10. Number 2 gets an 8. Will it join my collection? Absolutely it will, as will the first one. Neither of the Devil Wears Prada movies are in my collection yet. They both will very soon. Other than that, that's everything I've got to say on The Devil Wears Prada 2. Like I say, it's in cinemas across the UK right now. In the description below is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. More to come soon, including The Sheep Detectives. It's being called Hugh Jackman's best movie. We'll see about that. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in another video and hopefully one of those movie reviews very soon.